Direct air capture of carbon dioxide absorbs carbon dioxide that has already been emitted. It seems to be one of the only feasible ways of capturing traffic emissions from small mobile sources like cars, trucks, and planes. Emissions that represent 60% of the total today. Emissions that are likely to increase in the future. Of course, trees do the same thing. But studies show us that planting enough trees in the numbers needed would require diverting vast amounts of agriculturally productive land. In fact, to absorb as much carbon dioxide as a direct air capture facility, trees would require roughly 1,000 times more land. By contrast, direct air capture of carbon dioxide can be installed on land and is more cultivating. It does sound difficult. Carbon dioxide represents only 1 out of every 2,500 molecules in the air. That's 300 times less concentrated than carbon dioxide coming out of a smokestack. And smokestack technology is still not fully operational. So what is the process for capturing carbon dioxide from the air? Every single surface inside the stack is wetted with the carbon dioxide wetting solution. Air contacting carbon dioxide falls over these surfaces, and when carbon dioxide molecules encounter the liquid, they are converted to carbonate. The geometry of the packing material ensures that as much of the liquid as possible is exposed to the passing air. It also disturbs the flow, creating turbulence. So most of the air streaming through actually makes contact with the solution. The net effect: carbon dioxide is trapped in solution for further processing. The next step is to get back the carbon dioxide from its carbonate salt. The capture solution is reproduced and sent back to the air contactor. A stream of pure compressed carbon dioxide is generated, and any carbon dioxide produced during the separation process is part of that stream. There is almost no new carbon dioxide released. The internals of our proposed 1 million tons carbon dioxide a year unit will do the same at large scale and can be replicated 10,100,000, even 20,100,000 times. At that scale, emissions from 300,000 cars can be captured every year without significantly changing the technology of our proposed direct air capture model. The prototype will hopefully build confidence that direct air capture of carbon dioxide can be done efficiently and cheaply. There are significant advantages to building scaled-up direct air capture installations. Now let's talk about the future prospects of direct air capture of carbon dioxide. We can combine captured atmospheric carbon dioxide with hydrogen generated from water using renewable energy. Hydrogen itself can be used as a fuel, but that requires a whole new transportation infrastructure. Combining it with carbon dioxide from direct air capture could produce hydrocarbons like gasoline and jet fuel. When these fuels burn, they would simply release the carbon dioxide back to the atmosphere from where it came. This would be sustainable in the long run, because for providing carbon dioxide for these fuels would be little more than $1 a gallon. There is a growing buzz about direct air capture of carbon dioxide. The Economist and NPR and Fortune magazine have featured the work. Bill Gates is one investor in the direct air capture technology. Capturing carbon dioxide from the air is an important challenge, and the motivation behind our project.